Okay, so hello everybody.
Hello, Teacher Michael.
Hello, Lucia. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. Now you're at the
Sure.
Golden Gate Bridge, Chips. You're in America.
No, Chips are in San Francisco. Chips
San
in San
Francisco?
Francisco. Yes.
Yeah, that's the Golden Gate Bridge, California.
Where do you live, teacher? Hey, teacher Michael. Background.
I'm in Melbourne, Australia.
Oh. I got your background.
Teacher.
Yeah, you've got my background. It's just all white.
Because I got it when you have disappeared.
Teacher,
Okay.
there is behind me.
I've seen a few people hand in the homework videos, but we'll go over those once we get more of them.
Teacher.
Yes. Hello.
I am behind me.
You are behind you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what was the last thing that we talked about? I am a little bit disorganized today, so I'm a little bit lost in my notes. What was the last thing that we spoke about? It was the
I think it was the roles of the speakers.
That's it, the roles of the speakers and the judge and the judges and the timekeepers. Okay, so I think today we should start working towards your final debate, because we actually want to have a debate where people get a chance to speak. So I see 8. Ooh, I see 7 people here. So that means that for this debate, we're going to have 2 teams of 3. And I think we're going to have to do the 7th person can control the Q&A in some way. So I'll have a plan of that. But for now, let's get working on planning our debate. So who do we have in this team or in this class? We have got it written down here. So we've got Ben, Star, Chips, David, Lucia, LaRue, Edna, Emma, Jelly.
Teacher.
Yes.
Lucia changed her name to what? I can't read it. I don't want
La
to
belle fille Follette. You've become French, have you?
Pretty she's become French.
I am Chips behind Chips.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so today let's work out our theme and our teams. So I'm just going to send a quick message here.
I'm in another place now. It's at night.
Oh, goodness.
I'm sitting over at the river.
Okay, so just sent a message to your Zalo group to let everyone know class has started. Hopefully a few more will join us. But as I see right here, people in the class, we have Emma. We have Chips behind Chips and Chips's cousin. We have Lucia. We have David. We have Star. We have Edna. And we have LaRue. So we've got 7 people here, which means 2 teams of 3 and
Teacher,
1 person.
I'm putting
Yes.
my hand under the water.
Well, don't do that. You'll get your hand wet. So I'm thinking we have 2 teams of 3. Okay. Well, we've got 2 teams of 3 and we have 1 person to help me with interlocutor / judging duties. So who do we pick for the teams? Okay, so I really want to avoid putting Emma, Chips, and Lucia on the same team because I just get the feeling you guys will just talk a whole bunch and you won't actually get any arguments written down to prepare for your debate. So let's go. I'm going to make the tough call. Our 2 team captains for this debate will be, I'll pick David and Chips as team captains. Okay, now all right, so I'm just thinking, how do I decide the teams? How should I decide the teams? And it's not just going to be, again, it's not just going to be all the girls versus everyone else. We can't have the girls club versus everyone else.
Because you see there's more of everyone.
Okay, so I'm going to put LaRue on Chips's team. I am going to put Emma on David's team. I am going to put let's go Edna on Chips's team. So Chips, LaRue, and Edna are going to verse David, Emma, and should it be Star or Lucia? Who would like to have a go at judging / being the mediators in this debate?
You mean what?
Who would like to have a go at being the who would like to have a go at being a judge / a mediator in this debate?
How do we judge it? I don't know.
So the scorecard that you had a go at scoring a debate with last week, that will be there'll be a scorecard similar to that for our debate.
Teacher, look at Lucia's face. She's making a funny face.
So, very good. I did see that. So, would it like to be Lucia or Star? Which one of you two would like to help me judge and mediate? Okay,
Lucia
so
had her tongue out.
she did. So I will put Lucia on. I'll put Lucia on the debating team, and Star,
Teacher, will you send this in the Zalo group?
I will. And Star is going to be my guest judge. And
Teacher, what big guest judge?
mediator.
Why, yes.
So yeah, so you're going to help me judge the debate, and you're going to help me run and mediate the debate too. So in a way, you've got more responsibility than the debaters.
Oh, okay.
But what I will have you do is I will still have you write the arguments for one of the teams. Like I'll still get you to write down some arguments, and you'll get a chance to present your arguments as well. And that way you're still presenting something that I can also judge and mark.
Teacher, you put into teams, but do we need to come up with a topic?
Nope, I'm going to give you the topic. So the two teams, just to go over that again, the two teams are Chips, LaRue, and Edna. That is team number one. Chips, LaRue, and Edna. And team number two will be David, Emma, and Lucia. So I hope you guys have your debating caps on and ready to go. So the topic for this debate, we're going to start preparing our arguments and stuff for this homework. But today I would actually like to go over some positive body language with you guys, and how to achieve it, and how to look confident, because I'm going to be judging all of this in the debate. It's not just going to be your arguments, it's going to be your body language, it's going to be your presentation skills, everything. So we're going to cover some of that stuff today. Okay, the topic for this debate has been decided. Should video games be considered a sport? So that's going to be your topic. Should video games be considered a sport? And team number one will be the proposition. Team number two will be the opposition. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about body language. So I'm not going to go like super deep into details. I'm not going to give you like a super duper crazy, just going to give you some basic stuff that you can use. What are we doing? Is this a game? Am I winning? Am I winning? So first things first, posture. So I'll turn my background off for this, and you can see the room that I am sitting in. So first things first is your posture. So I'm going to stand up to show you this. So if you can see now, the way I normally stand, it's not necessarily good posture. You can see I've got a slight hunch here at the top of my neck and my shoulders, and my bum kind of sticks out a little bit. So I'm kind of standing here like this. So to get good posture, the first thing we want to do, and this is going to sound really crazy, but you want to bend your knees. I'm just trying to see if I can increase the angle here. So normally when I stand, my knees are quite far back and it makes my bum stick out a little bit. Force of habit, I'm trying to break it. So what we want to do is, the first thing about good posture is we want to just soften our knees a little bit.
Teacher, I like your hotel room.
This isn't a hotel room. This is just where I live. This is the dining room.
It's a hotel room.
It's killing.
No, it's the dining room. There's the staircase. There's the table.
How come you are dining in the dining room?
Teacher Michael.
This is just the most comfortable thing. I am. However, I ordered and paid for my new laptop yesterday. I'm excited to get it. Anyway, let's focus on this, guys, because this is going to help you a lot. So first thing we want to do, because when we're presenting our debate arguments, I want you guys to be standing up like this, facing the camera with your notes in one hand or two hands if you need to hold them. But I want you to be able to gesture. I want you to be able to move and do things. It makes for a lot more confident presentation. So I'm showing you all of this stuff now, and this is all going to help you with any public speaking you've got to do. So there's a lot of potential, like, good side for learning this stuff. So first things first, my knees tend to lock back a little bit. I want to just bend my knees. So ow, that was my knee cracking. So here, I just want you to just bend your knees a little bit. And the way that this should feel, as a matter of fact, everyone stand up now, do this with me. This is going to seem crazy, but it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. Now, with our knees, what I want you to do is, so when you bend them, you'll know that you're moving them properly when you start to feel in your feet like your whole body is being supported on the front of the foot and not like right at the back of the foot. So if I get my tablet here to try and show you my knees. So
I'm learning in my bedroom.
Good. All right, sweet. So see here, when my knees are straightened back like this, I can pick up my toes off the floor, and that's not good. So that's quite bad posture. So what we want to do is bend the knees a little bit. So all I'm doing is just knees forward. And now I can pick up my heels. So if I can do this.
Why is Jenny joining right now? I just saw her connect to audio.
I don't know. Hi, Jenny. You've come to watch us do weird posture exercises. So
yeah, it's not.
So first things first, I want my knees nice and bent. Not bent like I'm squatting. This is too much. But I want my knees nice and bent so that I can put all my weight on the front of my foot. I can. That's creepy. That's creepy.
I like ghosts.
So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. And that is actually quite an important thing to do when we are standing up and talking.
Lucia,
We will most definitely not be sitting there like "Ugh," when we're debating. So put your tongue back in your mouth, please.
Funny.
So that's the first thing. Knees nice and soft, nice and bent. It's where we can keep our body weight, where we can keep our weight on the front of our foot. That's good because it's good for balance.
Teacher.
What?
Lucia's still raising her hand.
Oh, is she raising her hand, Lucia? What's up? I didn't even see that.
I saw your whole body and I saw your whole body.
You did because I was standing up. But that's important because when we are debating.
No tray. Mine.
So, because when we are debating, we're going to be standing up when we deliver our arguments. So that's what tends to happen in a debate. People will stand up to speak. So that's the first thing. We want to keep our knees nice and soft, not locked out and really hard, or else the reason for that, I'll give you a reason I want you to do everything. Because with my knees nice and soft, so I put my knees forward, I can stand here for a long period of time, and I can stand here like this, talking, using my body language, using my gestures, using my face. But if my knees are locked back and hard, like really hard locked, then I'm going to start shifting and, oh, that's uncomfortable. And I'm going to start doing all of this stuff and it's just not good. Not good. So we want to keep our body in a position where we could stand there for as long as we need to. So knees soft and forward so that we can pick our heels up off the floor.
Teacher.
Yes.
I heard that sitting too long is bad.
It can be, yes. So what tends to happen when we sit is that, so what tends to happen when we sit is that we just sit in the chair. So our whole body just goes, bleh. And then we end up getting this big curve in our back and we end up limping all over the place because our body parts don't work right and things fall off. And we don't want to be sitting down for too long. We want to be as active as much as possible.
The reason is because it will change your muscles.
Exactly, because you don't need your muscles to sit in a chair. You can just plop down and just bleh. And if you do this for too long, your muscles go weak. They don't work as well. So the next thing I want...
sticking her tongue out.
Lucia, what are you doing? You look so strange on the camera. She looks frozen now too.
Yeah, it's just like she's not moving.
Either that or she's just made that her background picture to try and confuse us. Okay, so the next thing that I want to focus on, well, the first thing actually is just to ask you guys, what do I need you to do with your knees? When you stand up to present your debate, what do you need to do with your knees?
A little bit bent.
Very good. A little bit bent, but not too much. So we want to do that so that our legs are nice and relaxed and we can stand there for as long as we need to. Very good. Okay. So, very good. The next thing that I want to...
I just need to note this down.
Good. Make notes if you need to, because I am going to be judging all of this stuff when I watch you debate.
What? You're going to watch us debate?
Yeah, we're going to do the debate in a class on Zoom.
Okay, I just need to
Yeah.
my pen.
Okay, so that's number one. That's number one. Knees nice and soft, not locked out and pulled all the way back, because that's gonna that's gonna make your bum stick out, and that's bad posture. You start to look like a chicken.
A chicken.
Start looking like a chicken.
You sound like a chicken.
That's not.
No, yeah, no, seriously. So if my legs are locked out and my bum sticks back, then to stand up straight, I've got to puff my chest forward. Now I look like a chicken. So I've got to bend my knees. So I've got to bend my knees to keep my bum under my body, and I can stand up nice and straight.
All right, I'm taking
So,
that.
Good. Knees bent, bum under body, not sticking out like a chicken. Number 2. Now, number 2 isn't really something you need to do. It's something that will happen because of number 3. So don't just let me explain it, and then I'll go on to explain how it happens. So number 2, we want to suck our tummies in. So you can see here, I've got a bit of a tummy there, sticking out the front. It's my belly. Hey, it's not a big one, it's just there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my chest, and as a result, where's my tummy gone? It's not there. Oh my gosh. So that's number 2, is try and pull your tummy in. Tummy in, bent knees. And then with number 3, lifting your chest, you'll get very nice posture indeed.
Okay.
So talk to me again. Number 1, knees bent. And you want your knees to be over the front of your feet so you can pick your heels off the floor. Number 2.
You can be taller,
Yes, very good. It will help make you stand up taller. And it won't make you look like it won't make your back look like the letter S so much. So that's number 2, is suck your tummy inwards.
Suck
And
your
number
tummy?
Pardon?
What did you say? That suck your tummy?
Yeah, suck your tummy in. So you know when you're standing there and you can sometimes use your stomach muscles to make your stomach go in and out and in and out.
Yes.
And you're like, I have a big belly. I don't have a belly. I have a big belly. I don't have a belly. You want to pull your belly inwards.
Teacher. But
Yes.
I don't have a big belly. I will show you.
That's all right. This will work even better for you then.
Babies.
Pardon?
In the end of the class, I will show you my grandpa's dog's babies.
Oh, did you just say a dog had puppies? Oh my gosh, yes. End of the lesson. You are showing that to me, please. I love puppies. So number 3. Yes.
I can dog. My mom said that I can have a dog.
You get to get a dog? That's awesome.
When I
That's
am
cool.
a little bit older.
You have to be a bit older before you get one?
I did have a dog.
Okay, so the next thing I want you guys to focus on is your chest. So right in the middle, where you feel in the middle of your chest here, you want to imagine, if you put your finger there, you want to imagine that you're trying to get that finger to point up. So what I'm doing here, just to show you properly, is when I stand normal like this, so you see good posture, and you see that collapse there. So when it collapses, my chest just points straight forwards. What I want to do is pick it up and have it pointing diagonally up to the ceiling like that. So here from the collapse, so if I run my hand down the front, I'll feel it flat, looking straight forward. If I pick this up, so all I'm doing is from here, just up with the ribs, and it's now pointing diagonally to the ceiling. So I want to pick up my chest, have my knees bent, and my bum not sticking out. So tummy in, knees bent, and chest up. So if I can do these 3 things, then my posture is going to be fantastic for this debate.
Do we need to do that too?
Yes.
When I was at my home, when I'm at my hometown when I was 5, but I had to leave it in my hometown and then it died. I was so sad.
Oh,
I was 5.
oh, that is sad. Anyway,
was
let's focus on posture, guys.
Super cute. It is.
We can talk about our animals a bit later, but for now, we need to focus on our posture. So, what are the 3 points that I've given you? What are the 3 points for good posture that I've given you?
The knees.
Very good. So we're going to bend the knees so that our knees are over the front of our feet. That's the important bit. Our knees want to be directly on top of the front of our feet. What's number 2?
Maybe
suck your tummy
stomach. Stuck the
Very
stomach.
good. Very good. Suck your tummy in. Make your tummy as nice, as flat as possible. And what's number 3?
Chest up.
Very good. Chest up. Now, so those are the 3 important things. Like those 3 things will correct your posture quite nicely. Very good, Emma. I used to be a dance teacher, so this is the sort of stuff that I used to teach all the time. Now, the first thing.
Dance sport?
Yep, dance sport. I used to be a dance sport coach, teaching American Smooth. It was beautiful. So
Really?
the first thing that I want you to consider, the first thing I want you to think about with your chest is when you pick it up, make sure you don't do this with your, I'm going to come back down here. Make sure you don't do this with your shoulders. See how I've picked my shoulders right up and now my neck's disappeared? You can just see my chin and you see my shoulders, but no neck.
Yeah.
Good. So don't do that. Don't pick your shoulders up so high that they become little shelves for your ears. You want your shoulders to be down. So chest up, shoulders down. So this is something that you guys are probably going to want to have a practice of in between classes and leading up to the debate. Just practice your posture. These movements will feel really weird at first as you learn to control separate parts of your body. But if you just focus on them step by step, so do your knees, then your tummy, then your chest, make sure your shoulders are relaxed. And yeah, just these 3 things here, I'll have nice posture. I'll be able to stand there and...
a cup of water.
Another one. Didn't you just get one at the beginning of lesson? My goodness, how much water do you children drink? Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can go get one. I'm just teasing Emma.
It's so dark in Chip's place.
It is all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so dark.
Oh, there she is. Okay, so that is your posture. Oh, so that is your shoulders down. And your chin. That's the last important thing I need to talk to you about for debating posture. So when we're looking at the camera, so first of all, we might need to figure out where to put the cameras and stuff, but that's okay. That won't be too hard. But with your posture, with your chin particularly in your head, you don't want to be looking down. So right now I kind of have to because that's where my camera is. So I need to look down at the camera to see you guys. But I wouldn't normally be sitting there like this with like a downward look. I would actually, so if we put our hands like that, can you guys just put your hands like that so it's flat to the floor? what I want you to do is just put that under your chin and make your chin, the bottom of your chin, be flat to the floor. So like that. And that is actually where you should have your head for good posture. So when your eyes are looking straight, they should actually go slightly up. And then if we need to look down, we can move the head, move the chin, and look where we need to look. But for the most part, the bottom of your chin should actually be flat to the floor. And that is your final bit of posture. Okay, final bit. Now, so that's something I want you guys to practice, get used to, because we will be doing this debate on Zoom. Your cameras will need to be on so I can see you present, and your, what else? Yeah, and I will be
stand and present it.
Pardon?
I mean, do we need to stand to present it?
Yes. Yes. So I will get everybody to stand up to present their debating arguments, and then you can sit back down in your chair once you have finished your arguments. Okay. So one more time, just because I like to go over it, I like to be thorough. What are our points for posture? Number one is bend our knees. I know that's the one David's going to say. So we're going to bend our knees. What's number two?
Stock our balancing.
Very good. Suck our tummies in. What's number three?
Number three is chest
the chest up.
Very good. What do we need to be careful of when we're lifting our chests up?
The shoulder.
Very good. Make sure that the shoulders are, so we don't have to like force the shoulders down. We can just let them drop. Let the shoulders hang naturally. So good. So let our shoulders relax. And finally, what about our heads? What angle do we want our heads to be on?
Flat with the floor.
Very good. The bottom of the chin, flat with the floor. And if we can do that, we'll have very nice posture indeed.
But that takes a lot of muscle.
Not really. The only muscles that it involves are muscles that we should be using all the time anyway, like our cores, so our center, all of our stomach muscles. Sorry, I nearly started speaking like a dance teacher again there. Long time since I've been asked about that. But yeah, no, so those muscles that you use when you do that, they should be engaged anyway, which is the tummy muscles. They're going to help with your hips and your bum being under and not sticking out. They're going to help with your knees to stay bent. They're going to help you lift your chest up. So yeah, no, really, it's just all the stomach muscles, and we should be using those all the time anyway. Okay, now, the next thing that I want to speak to you about, and this will probably carry on a little bit into next lesson as well, is vocal modulation, or what are we doing with our voice? How do we use our voice properly for speaking? So first of all, as is the case with any spoken English, the secret to sounding, I say authentic, but the secret to sound, the secret to sound like you know what you're talking about is just sound confident. So even if in your head you're going, oh my gosh, I don't have the slightest idea what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. Outwards, when you speak, your confidence will hide any of that. So when we're confident, we're not loud. So I don't want to be shouting. but I want to be nice and loud. So what I'd like you guys to do.
You mean you want us to talk like not too loud or not?
Yeah. So I suppose a really good person to check out while they're speaking, it would be Barack Obama. Try and track down a few of Barack Obama's speeches, the former president of the United States. And what he will do, and what you'll see from him is that even though he's speaking into a microphone, he's very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? He's got a good use of tone, the tone of his voice, how his voice sounds. He keeps it nice and deep. So he's not like talking up here and using his nose and his head. He's not up here. He's more down here when he speaks. You believe him because he sounds like he knows what he's talking about with that nice deep voice.
I think someone has just joined the Zoom.
Vugia Khan just joined by the looks of it.
Is that Ben?
I believe so. We've got Ben and Jenny in the waiting room. Or not even in the waiting room. We've got Ben and Jenny in class. Okay, but back on topic now. So yeah, so when we are speaking, actually, I'm just trying to think. You know when you hear somebody singing and they go through all the notes, it starts down nice and low and they go, and the notes get higher and higher and higher. I'm not going to sing for you because I cannot sing. I'll make all of your ears bleed. But as they transfer through those notes, and I want you guys just to try it yourself, when these people transfer through these notes that they're speaking with, it changes from the voice coming from their chest, through their throats, and through their noses. So I want you guys to just try that now. Start out with a nice and low note. Your microphone doesn't have to be on for this, but just start out nice and low, just a nice hum, and then just and let your voice get higher and higher and higher.
Start right now.
Pardon?
I mean, did you say that start what?
So start with a nice low hum. So just like a really low hum. And then I want you to make the note, I want you to make the note go higher and higher and higher. So and try and get that. Because this is a silly thing to do, you can turn your microphones off for this bit. I just want you guys to do it, just so that you can feel.
I'm gonna have my microphone and camera.
Okay, that's fine if you want to turn your microphone and cameras off for this. But what I want you to feel is when you're doing the really low hum, that like that, I want you to feel that, and you should feel it coming from your chest, like right here. And then as you start to get higher and higher pitched, you should feel that sound starting to go from your chest to I feel it in my throat right now, that and then as it gets higher and higher and higher still, I'm going to start to feel it in my nose and in my head. So
Lucia's a pirate.
She is a pirate. But yeah, so I start to feel those sounds coming from my chest, from my throat, and from my nose.
Hang on, I'm not a pirate. I just tried to find my boat. I'm trying to find my boat.
Very good. She's on her boat. So
riding my boat, not on the boat.
Oh, well, we should be focusing on where our voice is coming from right now. So once you've tried that exercise, come back to me and I would just want you to tell me what you felt. So start with a really low and then get higher and higher and higher. And feel it travel through your chest, to your throat, to your nose.
I can feel it. It's going through my chest.
Good. And then as your tone starts to get a little bit higher, you should feel it go from your chest into your throat and then into your nose.
Me too.
Pardon?
Me too.
Good, good. So once we've done that and we can feel our voice traveling from the chest to the throat to the nose, that's a really good thing to be conscious of when you're speaking, because I've actually found, and this is something that I've had to work on with myself quite a lot, is that I actually feel most comfortable speaking in my nose voice. So when it's coming out of my nose, or when it's coming from my nose, sorry. But I've noticed that when I listen to myself back on recordings, that whenever I speak nasally, like with my nose a lot, I've noticed that it can sound a bit whiny and a bit whiny and complainy. And I don't like that. I don't like sounding like that. So when I speak in public or when I have to debate or whatever I've got to do, I always make sure to try and use either my throat voice or my chest voice. So keep those notes a bit lower, because doing that, you can sound like you know what you're talking about. So does that make sense with the different vocal ranges? The throat, the chest to the throat to the nose? Very good. Good, good, good. So how did you go, Miss Emma? Did you feel it go all the way from your chest through your throat to your nose?
Yes, it was going from here, here, and here.
That's right. So whenever we're speaking in a debate, did you try the exercise, Lucia? Did you try the exercise with us?
I think she was being a pirate.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay, so the next thing to discuss is your speed of voice. So are we going to talk really slowly? The look that Chips just gave me when I started speaking slowly, that was priceless. So are we going to speak really slowly, or are we going to talk really quick so fast I don't understand what we're talking about? Or maybe are we going to find somewhere in the middle where occasionally we might need to talk a bit faster, but then at the right times, you know, we can slow it down again. So when we're debating, we don't want to just sound robotic. So we don't want to say every word in the same voice, at the same volume, at the same level of pitch. We want to play with our voices a bit more, because our voice, we can really, really deliver a strong message if we use our voices right. So whenever you need to explain something to the audience, that's when, generally speaking, you want to slow down a bit more and take your time with your explanations when you're teaching the audience something new, or just telling them anything really important that you want to make sure everybody hears and everybody understands, say it a bit slower. Say it with a slightly deeper voice. Try and go to your chest voice and say it slowly. If you want to sound really, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want to sound like you are confident and you have authority on a subject, try and use your chest voice and try and talk nice and slowly. And that way the person will, the audience or the person listening to you will slow down. Lucia, why are you putting your feet in the camera?
Her feet is on the camera.
She's
Put those away, little miss. Okay, so yeah, so that's our voice tone, where we're using it from. That's our volume. It's also our inflection. So our inflection is a little bit difficult to explain to speakers of a tonal language, but you know how, and I won't even pretend like I can speak Vietnamese at all. My Vietnamese is atrocious. I make Miss Duc cry every time I try and say something in Vietnamese. She looks at me like I've just said something in French. But I know that with Vietnamese, you guys use tone in your language, and that can change the meaning of words. So if you say something that starts hua, like that, it can mean something else. If you start high and go low, oh, it can mean something else. So in English, that doesn't happen. We use our tone of voice for expression. So are we happy? Then we're going to be really happy and talking quite up here and really excited. Yay! Or if we're sad, it's going to be more down here. And if we're asking a question, our tone rises at the end. So if I'm going to ask Chips a question like, Chips, are you wearing a pirate hat?
yes.
So did you see there?
Me too.
And to demonstrate it again, Lucia, are you wearing a pirate hat as well?
With chips.
So you hear that little
attacking each other's boats.
no pirate ship wars. We've still got class going on. But yeah, so your tone of voice can determine what whether you're asking a question or making a statement in English. So we want to try and avoid using we want to try and avoid using the higher tones because it can get to a degree where it makes like everything that you're saying is just asking a question. So we want to try and avoid, I think that video games should be viewed as a sport. Like that, if you were to hear someone say that, it'd be like, are you asking me or are you telling me? So try and also be mindful of using tone when we speak English. We want to keep it nice and again, nice and down, because everything that we're saying is a statement. We're trying to persuade our audience. So unless we're going to ask them a question, try and keep away from the questioning tone of voice. Well, Jenny, that's going to be the topic of our debate. Okay, so can makeup become toys? In the hands of children whose parents are not supervising them well enough, yes, it can. Then it makes a lot of mess. Okay,
And
so
we make up for kids, and kids will dress up and go to a party.
very true. Okay, hang on a sec. I will. Teacher.
Teacher, who is behind Lucia?
Ooh. Okay, so there are 9 of you.
I am attacking Lucia's boat.
No attacking the
The
boat.
black one is mine, and the white one is Lucia's.
Nonsense.
Okay, so
Why
I've
did
just
I
added.
overpack
I've just added Ben and Jenny to the class list. So we're actually going to turn this into a 4-on-4 debate. So our our 2 new people that are going to be added to the teams.
Teacher, but we add 1 people to each team, not 2 people to 1 team.
Well, now it's we had 2 teams of 3, and then 1 guest person was going to help me judge and mediate. But I'm going to have to add Ben and Jenny into the rotation now. So I'm going to have a think about this, and I'm going to work out 2 teams of 4. And
Teams of 4 means you add both of them to each team.
well, that's it. So now I need to ask Star. Hello, Star.
Yes.
Would you like to join one of the debating teams, or would you like to help me judge and mediate?
I will have you a judge, maybe.
Okay, if you'd still like to help me judge. Okay, cool. Terrific. Okay, so I'm just going to add Ben and Jenny to one of the teams. We'll end up with 2 teams of 4. We'll continue this. Yeah, we will continue this this debate preparation in our next lesson on Wednesday. We'll go over a bit more about body language, about vocal, about the use of our voice. We'll cover all this stuff again. And yeah, we'll just work on presenting. So I'm gonna post your homework in the Zalo group right now.
Did you
So
post the teams too? I don't remember which team I'm in, opposition or competition.
Yes, once I have worked that out, I will post.
Lucia said
I'll
that's the
post the
topic.
team.
Can we swim in
topic-
every kind of water?
The topic is going to be, should video games be considered sport? That is the topic. And just a quick thing, once I put you on teams, you are only to present evidence and arguments in favor of your side of the debate, depending on your team, not how you actually feel about the topic. Because remember, debates, a debate like this at least, we don't want to try to argue what we truly believe inside in our hearts. That's not it. In a debate, we're trying to explore different viewpoints, and we are trying to create quality arguments. So focus on creating good arguments. So I'm going to post this stuff in the Zalo group now, guys. You've done fantastic today. Well done. And I'll see you on Wednesday.
Teacher, why did Lucia stick her feet on the camera?